Welcome to the Home Downsizing Show. My name is Ben Sochek, your host and the owner and founder of Home Downsizing Solutions. With the Home Downsizing Show, I want to provide you the information and resources to make the downsizing of your house stress and hassle-free. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. This is Ben Sochek with Home Downsizing Solutions, and welcome to this Zoom call here this morning. And today I have a very special guest, Teresa Jordan, with Care Matrix in Omaha, Nebraska. And their motto on their website, anyway, is Senior Housing Experts. So, Teresa, thank you for joining me here today, and welcome.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. If you could, Teresa, tell us a little bit about yourself and about how Care Matrix came into being.
You bet. You bet. So, Care Matrix. When we started, I was in corporate America, and I think a lot of people understand that corporate America is really all about revenue and not servicing the customer. And I was extremely frustrated, and I won't go into that story, but service is very important to me, and ethics is super important to me. And I was just getting frustrated, and I was doing a lot of traveling, and my husband is a disabled vet, and I needed to be home with him. And I ran across this opportunity, which is now what is Care Matrix. And I thought, how awesome that I can help people. I own it, so I know that the ethics are going to be there, and I know that I can serve and serve correctly. And I love it because I'm also a caregiver, so I totally understand what people are going through. I understand their array of emotions. I understand too that, if you have never done this before, and hopefully you never have, because it's not a fun process to go through sometimes, you don't know where to go and what to ask. And that is why we're in business, is to help people navigate this journey.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say, I mentioned on your website, Senior Housing Experts, of course, but what in your own words would you say, what is your primary service or benefit to others?
You bet. So what we do is we help seniors and their families navigate the senior living landscape out there. What that means is if somebody is wanting to stay at home, whether they need independent assisted living, memory care, or skilled care, we handhold them through that whole entire move-in. Plus, if they need services around that, we can help with that. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, you're like a real estate agent for independent assisted living and memory care. And I'm like, we kind of are, because we're just like a real estate agent, in that we're free to the families. And the way that we get paid is we get a referral fee from the community when they move in. So we do help with that housing portion, but we're also helping with anything that is supportive around that. We can help as a concierge service, if you will.
Okay. And I guess my perception is you're in Omaha, Nebraska, of course, but are there other areas that you also service, or is it primarily just the Omaha metro area?
We service Omaha, Council Bluffs, Fremont, and Lincoln. And I'll tell you, we do some pro bono work. If somebody is out there in Chadron, Nebraska, and they need assistance with their mom, we don't go to Chadron, but because we're really about servicing, we will help people that needs navigation services as well. But our focus is that Lincoln, Omaha, Fremont, Council Bluffs area.
Okay. And I heard an interesting item the other day also when I was talking to other individuals, that for the good or bad things, obviously a lot of people are on calls like this on Zoom anymore, but it kind of allows people to do business wherever they want to, I guess, to some extent, and do remote Zoom walkthrough tours and provide
Yeah.
services in like a Shadron or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's, I just, again, our motto or model really strategy with this business is servicing. And so we don't want to say, oh my gosh, because you live in Kearney, Nebraska, there may not be a resource there, but we want to be able to help with that.
Sure.
Because you don't know what you don't know. And, having 6+ years of experience, I've learned a lot, and I want to make sure that our seniors are taken care of.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you might have mentioned this just a little bit ago, and so I apologize if this is redundant,
Okay.
but who would be your typical client, the best person you can help, and how do you best help them with your services?
You bet. Great question. So, our seniors, right? We help seniors, and we're working a lot with their adult children, because it does become overwhelming. And I'll tell you, a lot of people think that you have to have lots and lots of money to go into assisted living, and that is not the case. So, I think a lot of people would be, I say that because I think a lot of people don't even look because they're like, I can't afford that. And just call because we can have that discussion. We are looking at people that may want to stay at home. They're in the planning stages.
Mhm.
Not, what, I'm not ready to go, but I want to have that plan. And we love that because there's no better time to look for your future, if you will, whether that's staying at home or assisted living, independent living, when you don't need it. So we love people that are planning, but we also are dealing a lot with people that are, um, gosh, there was a fall, and maybe there was a hip broken and they can't go home anymore. So we're dealing a lot with those two. There's also people that maybe it's a husband and wife or a child that is caregiving for somebody that has somebody with dementia, and so they may need a respite stay. So we will help with that as well. So we're anywhere, been from anywhere from, gosh, we're just planning all the way to that crisis stage, or just needing a break. Well, we're helping anybody with that.
Okay. And if there is a typical situation, I guess, what would and again, like you just mentioned, you work with different stages in that process, but is there something typically that will happen to either the homeowner or the maybe the family, the kids, the adult children, that will cause them to search out for your services?
But well, I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about two parts because we do have the group of clients that they want that plan. And so there's not really a catalyst, if you will, that says, "Oh my gosh, got to call Teresa." It's more of, what, I want that plan. Maybe they saw somebody else going through this that didn't have a plan, so that creates them to have a plan. But a lot of times there is a life event, unfortunately, and that could be, like I said, the hip. It could be just going over and noticing there may be some memory issues going on. Uh, there are a lot of triggers, and if anybody ever wants, we have a great brochure that talks about some of those warning signs that you may need to look for, such as maybe somebody was used to be extremely clean and now they're not bathing. Um, Ben, as you know, their house is a great indication, right? That they need help. If if the house is on the outside, they're not able to take care of it, or even on the inside, all of a sudden there's hoarding or pathways, or it's just unclean or unkept, or maintenance is needing to happen. There are so many signs and life events that happen. So I'm just going to categorize them as kind of warning signs slash life events, because you and I, we could probably talk about that all day long.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. Um, well, thank you for that information because those are the primary items I think that really are important to individuals that may be watching this,
Mhm.
that would I think, be most important to find you and ask you about your services. But is there anything else that you would like to add that I haven't asked you about that would be beneficial for someone watching this?
You bet. So one of the things I think when you're working with a navigation company, a lot of people will call them placement agencies, and we're more than just a placement agency. We're really helping people navigate. You need to think about some things. First of all, how long have they been in business? This is kind of have this is a really niche market, and what we're seeing because of the baby boomers, there are a lot of people that have been in business. They're just all of a sudden popping up.
Mm.
So a year or two. So you want to make sure that somebody has experience and they understand, um, you know, they understand what's going on and they have that experience to help. But also you want to make sure that it the way that we get paid, as I said before, is we get referral fees from communities, and we have to have contracts with those communities. So a lot of navigation companies or placement companies will only go to places that they have contracts with. So you want to make sure that that who you're working with, if they will go to all or just the contracted ones, because we have contracts with 99.9% of the communities out there. And even if we don't, we will go to those places because if it's the right fit, it's the right fit. It's not about our revenue. So you want to look at those kind of things. You want to make sure that you're really looking at financials, because you only want to move them once. You don't want to move them someplace and have their money drained. And Ben, I'm sure you've seen this too, where they go someplace, they drain their money, and now they're out of money and they have to move again. So do your homework when you're looking at it. It doesn't hurt to have place phone calls and do interviews, because you learn a lot. So and remember, most people that are in this business, whether you're a navigation company, you're helping people downsize and move, home health, we have great hearts, and we're really here to help. So don't hesitate to call.
Absolutely. And that's just to jump back a little bit in that I agree entirely with finding a company that has a track record and some time, because as you mentioned, there's a lot of people jumping into all aspects of the downsizing business. I certainly see that after doing what I've been doing for 20 plus years, that especially with the real estate market, it seems like everybody's out there acting as a home buyer these days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I certainly understand that, and to find someone like yourself that has the experience to navigate that with them. Um, Teresa, how's the best way for people to find you or to contact you and learn more about you and your services if they would like to at this point?
You bet. So the best way, again, my name is Teresa Jordan, and no, I'm not related to Michael Jordan. I get that all the time. But phone number is 402-885-5693. Again, 885-5693. I take text messages as well as phone calls. Email is Teresa, Teresa @carematrix, and it's .net. Go check us out on the web, which is carematrix.net. And it has a lot of information out there, and we keep expanding it. So yeah,
Okay.
again, just give me a call. I'm not pushy.
Okay. I
Yeah.
will put your contact information, your phone number, and the website, of course, on the Zoom call notes that will be online after this call. So if people have an interest, all that will be provided for them too there. And again, thank you for coming on this morning. I think what you do is an incredibly important thing, and a growing important item. And so with that, I will sign off here, and thank you for joining us again.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home Downsizing Show. For additional information and resources on home downsizing, just go to homedownsizing.blueprint.com. That's homedownsizing.blueprint.com. Or if you're ready to sell your house and downsize, just go to homedownsizing That's homedownsizing And if you have ideas to improve our show or topics that you'd like us to cover, or have any questions that we can answer, just call our office toll free 855-291-5005. That's 855-291-5005. Thank you.